Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to cover another token that was recently listed on Coinbase, and this token is called Fetch.ai or the FET token or FET token, right? Again, as always guys, for any of the tokens that we cover on our channel, I suggest you guys to do your own research. And for this token, I recommend you guys to go to their website Fetch.ai in order to learn more about this project before you invest any money on this token, right? But for the purpose of this video, as always, we're gonna basically look at the information presented on CoinMarketCap in order to understand what this project does and what you can learn from this in order to kind of do your own research later on before you invest any money on this token, right? So what is Fetch.ai? Fetch.ai is a platform that aims to connect Internet of Things or IoT devices and algorithms to enable their collective learning. It was launched in 2017 by a team based in Cambridge, UK. So again, if you guys take into consideration the fact that Coinbase has been a publicly listed company right now, they're trying to list as many tokens as they can, but they're also being scrutinized by the general public as well as institutions on what tokens they list, right? Being one of the most highly compliant exchanges on the crypto space right now, Coinbase is constantly under pressure to not only list tokens that are of extremely high quality when it comes to their products and as well as the things that they have to offer for the crypto space and the DeFi space in general. They are also basically going to list tokens that have a very unique value proposition, right? And that being said, Fetch.ai is a project that basically aims to be the go-to project for the Internet of Things because it aims to connect several devices and algorithms to enable collective learning, right? So again, that's one of the main unique selling features of Fetch.ai. Obviously, you guys know that there's several other projects that also tries to do the same thing, including let's say for example Helium, which is also aiming to do something similar to Fetch.ai, where it becomes the collective learning of devices which are basically Helium miners that people can plug in and earn Helium tokens in return for offering the blockchain to be decentralized as well as to offer the Internet of Things services on these devices, right? So with that being said, Fetch.ai does some really unique things which we'll be covering pretty shortly. But again, this project was also one of the most oldest projects in the crypto space. Again, it got launched in 2017. Although it's not that old in relative terms, in the crypto space, it's definitely an old project. 2017 was also the bull run which made crypto kind of like mainstream. And Fetch.ai basically originated from the periods of 2017 by a team that was based in Cambridge, UK, right? So again, that's a brief background of Fetch.ai. So Fetch.ai is built on a high throughput sharded ledger and offers smart contract capabilities to deploy machine learning and artificial intelligence solutions for decentralized problem solving. Again, this is probably one of the main highlights of this project because it can, like any project can become an Internet of Things platform, right? When it comes to crypto space, you can basically have numerous IoT devices and create your own token, reward people for plugging in and playing in with devices that you may produce, and then call it as a cryptocurrency, right? But Fetch.ai does something much further than that. It doesn't just allow for the IoT devices and IoT systems to exist in a decentralized manner, but it also provides smart contract capabilities in order to deploy machine learning and artificial intelligence solutions for decentralized problem solving, right? Again, this is a very unique value proposition. There are a lot of IoT products or projects that are in the crypto space cannot claim. And this unique value proposition was probably one of the main reasons why Coinbase decided to list this token, right? These open source tools are designed to help users create ecosystem infrastructure and deploy commercial models. Again, some of the many use cases basically include helping users create ecosystem infrastructures, because it's obviously smart contract capable, which means you can build decentralized dApps on top of Fetch.ai and deploy commercial models into the ecosystem as well, which will definitely help in the adoption of this entire blockchain. Now moving on to who founded Fetch.ai. It was basically founded by Toby Simpson, Humayun Sheikh and Thomas Hain. So again, these are the three main founders of Fetch.ai. Humayun Sheikh is the current CEO of Fetch.ai. He's also the CEO and founder of Metallex and the founder of You've and It's Me. So again, this is basically talking about one of the main founders who was also involved in another project called Metallex. I believe we've covered this project in some of our previous videos. I believe it was last month or a month and a half back. If you want to check out that video, you can go to my channel and understand what this project is overall, and look into my price predictions as well. But overall, this person has had several experiences with other projects as well, and they are also the current CEO, right? Toby Simpson is the COO of Fetch.ai. He was also the CTO of OSOSIM Limited, as well as the head of software design at DeepMind. So again, this is basically talking about the second founder, who is also the COO. Thomas Hain is the chief science officer at Fetch.ai. Before that, he was a co-founder and director of Komei. I believe I spelled that one right. So again, as you can see, the three founders of this project have a lot of background when it comes to other software development projects, and one of them have experience with Metallex, and the other one has OSOSIM Limited, experience with OSOSIM Limited, and also the other one was the director of Komei, Komei, which is another kind of software-based project, right? Product, right? So, what makes Fetch.ai unique? So, one of the main questions that people ask is, why should they care about this token? Just because it's listed on Coinbase doesn't mean that you have to buy this token, right? You need to obviously have a financial perspective and a philosophical perspective basis in order to buy a token. So if you were to be introduced to this token, what would interest you about this project that other projects don't necessarily have, that will make you put your money on this token, right? So again, we already touched upon this a little while back, but this project is not necessarily a regular IoT device or platform. It's basically a platform that allows for smart contract capabilities, which means you can basically build decentralized apps, which is also one of the most unique value propositions. But let's look at some of the other main value propositions of Fetch.ai. Fetch.ai's utility token, FET, was designed to find, create, deploy, and train autonomous economic agents, and is an essential part of smart contracts and oracles on the platform. So again, the FET token is one of the main tokens that will help it's basically designed to find, create, deploy, and train autonomous economic agents, which are entities that exist on top of the Fetch.ai blockchain, and it's also forms an essential part of the smart contracts and oracles on the platform itself. So again, the token itself serves a lot of key functions within the ecosystem, and these functionalities are not just incentive mechanisms for people to participate in the ecosystem, but they're actually core fundamental functions that this token performs, which may otherwise not be possible, right? So that's something that's very important for this project. Through the usage of FET, users can build and deploy their own agents on the network. Developers, by paying with FET tokens, can access machine learning based utilities to train autonomous agents and deploy collective intelligence on the networks. Again, by using FET tokens, people just like you and I can basically build and deploy our own agents on the network. So we can basically use FET tokens in order to basically create and deploy units called agents within the network itself. But people with a lot of coding knowledge, such as developers, are basically they basically have other features as well. So basically they can pay with FET tokens, can access machine learning based utilities, again, which is something that's going to be very important for artificial intelligence in the future, and train autonomous agents and deploy collective intelligence on this network. So again, developers can do a wide variety of things, which is obviously the case for many blockchains. But when it comes to user friendliness and user capabilities, users can build their own agents and deploy them on the network itself. So again, you can learn more about what agents you can build by going to the website, but you basically have a lot of functionalities both as a developer and as a general user, right? So validation nodes are also enabled by staking FET tokens, which facilitates network validation and reputation as a result. So again, by staking FET tokens, you are running a validator node, and that basically facilitates the entire network validation system, as well as retains the reputation of the network as a result of this staking, right? So that's also another key component of the FET token. The Fetch.ai technology stack has 4 distinct elements, which are the agent framework provides modular and reusable components to aid in building multi-agent systems. Again, they are using a lot of fancy terminologies here, but overall, to simplify it, there are mainly 4 stacks or 4 parts of the Fetch.ai technology, right? The first one is the agent framework, which basically provides components which are obviously reusable within the ecosystem, that helps in building multi-agent systems. Again, these are all fancy words to say people can basically build their own components within the ecosystem, right? The open economic framework provides search and discovery functions to agents. Again, their main functionality is the open economic framework. This is something that's very key, because by having an open economic framework, they are basically providing opportunities for people to search and discover several different agents or components within the ecosystem itself. The agent metropolis, a collection of smart contracts that run on a WebAssembly or WASM virtual machine to maintain an immutable record of agreements between agents. Again, this is basically one of the core elements of Fetch.ai, where not only do smart contracts interact, but a collection of smart contracts. It's just not any smart contracts. It's basically a multiple collection of smart contracts interact in order to run the WebAssembly virtual machine, or WASM, right? Instead of the Ethereum virtual machine, this is a WebAssembly virtual machine, which is quite different, and this basically maintains the immutability of the record. This basically secures the entire network itself between the 2 different agents, right? The Fetch.ai blockchain combines multi-party cryptography and game theory in order to provide secure, censorship-resistant consensus, as well as rapid chain syncing to support agent applications. Again, the fourth and the most important component, one of the most important component of the Fetch.ai ecosystem is the blockchain itself, which basically combines multiple party cryptography and obviously includes game theory in order to provide secure censorship-resistant consensus, as well as rapid chain syncing to support agent applications. Again, overall, if you didn't understand these four main concepts, all I suggest you to do is basically go to the website and learn more about this in detail. But if you still don't understand this, all you need to understand is basically it's a multi-component system where security is managed within the ecosystem. It's kind of like a very secure blockchain in a way that performs a lot of activities with the help of their own native token called FET token, right? So if you didn't understand anything else, I hope you just take this home as a message for you to do your own research. When it comes to the platform's core components, there is the learner, where each participant is the learner in the experiment, representing a unique private data set and machine learning system. There is also the global market, which is the result of collective learning experiment, where the machine learning model is trained collectively by the learners themselves. Next, there is the Fetch.ai blockchain that supports smart contracts which permit coordination and governance in a secure and auditable way. Lastly, there is a decentralized data layer based on IPFS, which enables the sharing of machine learning weights between all of the learners involved. So again, summarizing all of this, there are multiple other core components as well on top of the four components that we discussed. So there is aspects of unique private data sets and machine learning systems that are built within the system. There's also components that make sure that training and learning models are available within the system. There's also the smart contract supporting systems as well that coordinate and make the blockchain secure and immutable. And there's finally the decentralized data layer system that enables machine learning between all the parties that are involved. So again, overall, it's a very robust blockchain which basically does a lot of functional and functional as well as smart contract based activities within the ecosystem, right? So moving on to the security of the Fetch.ai, through the use of blockchain technology, the network is completely decentralized. Again, this is something that's very straightforward. Further security is provided by differential privacy, which helps avoid exposing users' private data sets when generating updates. Fetch.ai's blockchain also supports a combination of multi-party cryptography and game theory, providing secure and censorship-resistant consensus. Again, as we already discussed before, the blockchain itself allows for differential privacy that prevents the exposure of user information, thereby protecting user security. And also, the blockchain itself supports a combination of multi-party cryptography and game theory, thereby adding additional layer of security and censorship-resistant consensus, right? Making the entire blockchain very secure. So overall, it's a very robust project and a very it could be definitely a difficult project to understand, but I suggest you guys to go to their website and understand. It's basically artificial intelligence for blockchains, as they state on their website. And artificial intelligence by default is a very complicated mechanism that not a lot of people can understand easily, which is totally fine. But since they're bringing in blockchain with artificial intelligence, there's going to be a lot of things to learn and understand, which is totally fine, right? But again, the main point of this video is that this token is available on Coinbase Pro, and to give you a basic understanding of this project before you can do your own research, right? So again, there's a lot of information on the website which I'll let you guys explore and learn. So again, it also talks about what agents are. So if you were extremely confused when I mentioned about agents and components and machine learning and all that, they help you understand this by providing simplified definitions of these terminologies as well, right? So they're also partnered with Bosch, Festo, Telecom Innovations, IoT, Blockchain for Europe, as well as Binance, Fireblocks, Zero Chain, Waves, and several other projects as well. So basically, it's a very, very robust ecosystem with a lot of partnerships and a lot of exciting things happening, right? They're also mentioned on the press, And if you go to the bottom, you can also sign up and become a subscriber to their newsletters if you want to understand the project even more and learn the updates as they update them. So overall, there's a lot of information about this project that you can definitely use to do your own research, right? So again, if you go back to the CoinMarketCap page for the FET token, this token is currently ranked 128th by market cap on CoinMarketCap and is currently trading at 41 cents per token with a 10.74% increase in the past 24 hours, right? If you look at the market cap, the token has $310 million in market cap, which again, machine learning is something that is a very early concept. It's already a part of us. Every time you use any Google-based applications, you are basically experiencing a version of machine learning, right? Even if you take a small reCAPTCHA, for example, that's machine learning in action. So whenever you successfully complete a CAPTCHA or reCAPTCHA, you're basically training an artificial intelligent robot or an AI that is learning your pattern, right? And thereby being more efficient and being more, being more superhuman in a way where they can basically do things that human beings cannot do when it comes to pattern recognition and even training other robots to do activities, right? So since machine learning, although it's a very complicated topic, very specialized topic, which is definitely going to revolutionize the world, it's all fully centralized. If you take Google as an example, Google is a huge company, right? And I think Google is one of the main leaders in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So if you take Fetch.ai, it still has a market cap of just less than $350 million in market, or even less than $500 million in market cap, right? So Fetch.ai aims to do the same thing that Google is aiming to do, but in a decentralized manner. So Google is basically a centralized entity, and Fetch.ai aims to be this decentralized Internet of Things platform that also enables machine learning and artificial intelligence. So if I were to have a fair comparison, I can only compare this with Google because they are the two components that are basically similar to each other, right? But one is centralized and one is decentralized. So if you take the success of Google, Google has done numerous excess when it comes to its stock price, as well as even when it comes to real world applications. Google has extremely mastered artificial intelligence and machine learning. And since Fetch.ai is still in its infancy, I think the market cap is only going to be exploding in the future as more and more people start recognizing the true power of Fetch.ai, right? So that's why I'm trying to basically tell you guys that the market cap is overall undervalued for this project, and it could extremely go ballistic in the future, right? When it comes to max supply, this token has a max supply of 1.1 billion tokens. Again, a lot of tokens, obviously, but understand that this is a blockchain project, which means people who use the FET tokens have a lot of incentives to stake and therefore secure the blockchain. So a majority of the tokens are probably staked, and therefore the circulating supply of 65%, which is also a really decent number, is only taking into account tokens that are free in the market, but there's a lot of tokens that's also locked because of staking and all that, which obviously every once in a while a small bunch of tokens will be released into the market to sell by their owners. But overall, I think it's a fairly equitable token supply with a very decent circulating supply distribution, right? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of price slumping when tokens are issued and dumped into the market, and being a token with a lot of tokens as max supply, you can only imagine that the price slumping will be gradually lowering in the next 5 to 10 years. And as the ecosystem grows and new artificial intelligence based dApps get built on top of Fetch.ai, this is going to only be a good opportunity for people to get in, right? So if you take the price chart, the token price was initially worth 31 cents as of as on March 5th of 2019, and since then the token was pretty much in a declining trend, and it reached its all-time lows of about 3 cents per token during February 29th of 2020, in that period, and then kind of had an occasional peak of a slight peak where it kind of touched close to 12 cents per token before coming back down with not a lot of huge activity happening until the first week of January, which is when the token price went from close to 5 cents all the way to an all-time highs of 80 cents per token. That's a huge increase in price appreciation, and again the token literally wasn't able to sustain the price point for a long time because a lot of selling pressure literally crashed the price, and the token kind of went to relatively lows of about 19 cents per token. And now, in the anticipation of the Coinbase listing, I believe people are piling up on this token, and now the token price is going up, right? So I would probably say that this token is not a good price point to buy at right now, in the dollar comparative at least, because if you see, the token is on its way upwards, and as we are speaking, the token is still continuing to go upwards, and I can only see this token kind of like go close to its previous all-time highs, which will probably be somewhere around 70 to 80 cent range. So you shouldn't really buy this token at this price point. The point of bringing this video to you is to help you do your own research and maybe allocate some of your funds if you feel like this token is a good buy for the long term. Again, not financial advice. This is just an educational video, right? But if you do choose to invest in this token, this is not the right time to invest in this token because this price point is quite high, right? But if you take the Bitcoin compared to, on the other hand, it seems like the token price is pretty much flat for Bitcoin comparative, which shows that the Bitcoin comparative is probably the best opportunity to buy this token at this price point. But if you see, the initial price of this token in Satoshi comparative was 9,400 Satoshis, and then the token literally crashed, and it was pretty much doing nothing. It was pretty much worth its all-time low price of 2,000 Satoshis per token in 2020 of April, and then it made a little bit of a bump during August 2020 when the token was at 12,800 Satoshis before coming back down. And even during the early stages of this year, this token was not really extremely pumping. It kind of like touched the 12,400 Satoshis and was kind of like very volatile. Even now, the token is pretty much flat if you consider this from the previous all-time highs, right? So again, with the Bitcoin comparative, I think this is a really good buy opportunity. But for dollar comparative, I'd probably hold off on this token, right? If you take the markets, again, as we discussed before, there's a lot of liquidity on Coinbase, and therefore this token has a lot of potential, to succeed not just on Coinbase but also on Binance, right? You can basically buy it with Bitcoin on Binance, BNB, as well as on USDT on Binance, and USD and USDT on Coinbase. So as we discussed, since Bitcoin is a good price comparative to buy this token at, you may want to look into that. Again, not financial advice, but dollar comparative, you definitely might want to hold off on that, right? You can also get it from KuCoin, Gate.io, and obviously get it from Uniswap as an ERC20 token. But I believe Fetch has its own native token. It's not associated with ERC20, but I could be wrong on that. But I believe since it's available on Uniswap, there's also an ERC20 version of this token. You can get it from Crypto.com, WazirX, and so on and so forth, other platforms as well, right? And this was also a token that was available on the Binance Launchpad. It was I believe last year or something when this token was available on the Binance Launchpad, and the seed sale price was close to 1 or 2 cents per token. Now it's worth 40 cents, and during its all-time highs it was worth like 80 cents. So people who held and sold at the top, congratulations to you guys. But for people who bought at the top, please hold on to it. I'm pretty sure that this token is going to go up multiple X's in the long term. I can see this token kind of like touching its previous all-time highs and even maybe reaching the $1 mark by the end of this bull run, which is a high possibility. But in the long term, which is about 5 to 10 years from now, I think this token can easily be worth like $5 per token easily, because of how rapidly machine learning as well as artificial intelligence and even the IoT space is growing, right? And with a lot of liquidity from Binance and Coinbase, this token is not going anywhere. It's a very high quality project, which people can definitely have an eye out for. For people who missed out on Google and who wanted to get into projects like Google, or who want to get into projects that are the next Google in the crypto sphere, I think Fetch.ai serves that purpose and could be a very good alternative for Google stock itself, right? So again, that's just my opinion, guys. Again, remember, guys, you guys are not regular investors. You guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.